Hey, so I figured for the first video we would start off with pop and push. And the reason why I want to start off with those is usually deal with array manipulation pretty early on, since arrays are one of the first things you learn about. And the reason why I want to go over pop and push is I actually forgot which one did what. I knew pop or push, they removed and added things, right? I couldn't remember which one did what though. So I actually had to Google it. And I thought of I think it's clever, a clever little analogy that helps me remember it. So I figured I would use that as my first video. And being I want to start kind of simple, this is the perfect example that I think that we can start with. So let's pretend that you're at a party and they've got some champagne. So let's define a champagne variable and set it equal to an array. And a champagne has a bottle and a cork, right? So let's set it to bottle and cork. So let's console.log champagne to see what we have. So down here you can see we have bottle and cork. So what do we want to do to a champagne bottle? We obviously want to pop the cork off. So let's take champagne and apply the pop array method to the array. And it's going to basically take the last item of the array off of it. So if we remove this console log from there and replace it underneath the pop so the pop can run first and then we can see what's on the array, and we'd run it now, we just have the bottle left. So the cork actually isn't gone. It's still stored on that pop method when we called it. So if for whatever reason you need to access the popped off item, it's still stored inside that pop method. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but it's there. It's in local memory. So if we console log this pop, you'll be able to see that cork still exists. It's not gone. So you can use that for any number of things. So that's pop. So basically, I think of a champagne bottle and you're popping the cork off. It's gone. So you're taking the last thing off of the array and removing it. Okay, so for push, assuming you're still at the party, there might be a dance floor. And on the dance floor, you've got some people. So let's define a variable called dance floor. And we're going to say there's a few people on there. Let's say there's Bob, Sally, and Susie. That's you guys? Yeah. All right. So you've got Bob, Sally, and Susie on the dance floor. And just to show you that they do exist there, we've got Bob, Sally, and Susie. All right, so say you have a friend called Chris, and he likes Susie a lot, but he's too shy to go on the dance floor. And he says, hey, I don't know what to do. I'm really shy. Can you help me out? So you being the fantastic friend that you are, you're going to push him onto the dance floor. So we're going to take dance floor, and we're going to add the push method to it, and we're going to push Chris, if I can spell, onto the dance floor. So now, we run this, we now have Bob, Sally, Susie, and Chris. So that's pretty much pop and push. They're really basic, but I think they're easily confused. And for me, remembering these little simple analogies, the champagne one really works for me with pop because you pop the cork off the bottle and it's gone. So you're basically popping the last thing off the array and it's gone. Yeah, let me know if this kind of style of teaching helped you guys. I'm gonna try to think of kind of simple analogies like this to make things a little bit more digestible, because this is how I learn. I can't take everything for a technical, literal sense whenever I'm looking at anything Java, anything coding really. So this is how I learned. So this is kind of how I'm hoping to teach others. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and until next time.